Hey guys, it's Dream Eliminator here. I just wanted to stop by and show you guys what I picked up from this really cool store near me called Tom's Electronics. So let's check it out.
You are about to enter a new dimension in television, a dimension of 3D sight, sound, and space.
Man, this place is the best. They've got VHS tapes, laser discs, vinyl, figures, retro games, a lot of retro games, and even VCRs and like laserdisc players and stuff. The owner, Tom, actually repairs all that kind of stuff. So it's all refurbished stuff. It's guaranteed to work and everything. Really cool place. Trevor, I don't know if he's a co-owner or just he's been there forever, but he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. So I've actually done a video on this before, maybe like a year ago. I'll link to that video down below if you want to go check that out. But yeah, when I was there, I picked up some books. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with them. If you are, let me know down in the comments because I'd love to know. I've been looking for these for a long time. You can find them online, but I've never seen them like out anywhere in a store. And those are Bruce Coville's Book of Blank. So, for example, this one's Bruce Coville's Book of Aliens, Tales to Warp Your Mind. These came out in like 96, something like that, like around that time, you know, early mid 90s. And I remember I had most of these. I definitely had this one as well. This is Bruce Coville's Book of Monsters, Tales to Give You the Creeps. Bruce Coville's Book of Nightmares, which I also had. And this one really screwed me up when I was a kid, man. There's some stories in here, not just in here, but like in these books that are like not for kids. Like, I guess they were for kids, obviously. They were Scholastic. I probably picked them up at like a book fair or something. But like some of the stuff in here is like pretty dark material for a kid. I guess it's probably more geared towards like older kids. But still, like some of the stuff in here is pretty dark. There's this story in here called Drawing the Moon. That one always stuck with me like my whole life. Like I still think about it to this day. And basically, from what I remember, it's about this like guy who lives in kind of a rundown, like almost like a hoarder house kind of situation, and he has this like crescent tattoo on his stomach, and these kids, like he's notorious in the neighborhood, kind of like a Freddy Krueger figure, and these kids come by his house, and it's from their perspective, and I think one of them gets dared to like go up to him or something, you know, the classic scenario. But he like eats people through like this slit in his stomach, and like just the way it was told and described, it like it always stuck with me. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm confused. It was called The Fat Man, not Drawing the Moon. Drawing the Moon is another story that's also messed up, but I'm thinking of The Fat Man, so flip that around. Drawing the Moon is another one that's super messed up. You can see there, that's the Fat Man with the crescent tattoo. Here's another illustration. This one's from Drawing the Moon. I also picked up Book of Magic, which I did not have. I always wanted it, but I was more at that point in my childhood, I was more into like horror than I was into fantasy, although I've always loved fantasy, but at that point I was more into like horror. But yeah, so I don't know, I can't really speak to this, but if it's anything like the other ones, I'm sure it's great, you know. If you remember these, you know, let me know down in the comments. I don't know how like ubiquitous these things were. I'd be really curious if anyone else has any memory of those. Next book I picked up was Alien 3, the novelization of Alien 3. I guess you can find these pretty easily, but I'm always a sucker. Like if I see a novelization out in the wild, I'll pick it up. For the most part, I don't collect them necessarily, but I think they're pretty cool, so I had to grab that. And then speaking of novelizations, I picked up The Howling 2. Now, this is not a novelization of The Howling 2. I've been going down a werewolf hole recently. I'm all covered in werewolf gunk. Joe Dante's The Howling was based on a book called The Howling, but loosely based on the book, so it doesn't really have anything to do necessarily point for point with the book. But then they made a movie, The Howling 2, which doesn't have anything to do with the first Howling or The Howling the book, and then they made The Howling 2, the book, which has nothing to do with The Howling 2, the movie. It's another Howling. I guess you'd call this the true sequel. Yeah, it's confusing, but I'm really looking forward to reading it. I'd like to read the original Howling, and then like read this one and see how different it is from the movie. I don't know. It's confusing, man, but I am happy I picked it up. I didn't even know there was a Howling 2 book, so that's pretty cool. Then here we have How to Win at Nintendo Games number 3. I don't remember this, at all, by Jeff Rovin, unofficial guide, not endorsed by Nintendo. Passwords, secret codes, how to regain powers, weapons, and lives. Important updates on all your favorite games, and much more. So this is pretty cool. I don't know if this was like before Nintendo Power. It looks like this was printed in 1990, and it's the third installment. So the first one could have gone further back, but I thought this was cool because it has, look at all these games. It's got Bad Dudes, Burger Time, Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest Guide, that's cool. Friday the 13th, Hide Glide, Mega Man 2, Monster Party, Skate or Die, like really cool stuff in here. Let me look and see if I can find Friday the 13th real quick. Here we have Friday the 13th. I'll just kind of hold it here, and if you want to like take a screenshot or pause the video or whatever, you can go ahead and read it. And we have, it's not very long, but it's cool because it tells you like what the enemies are, the beginner's strategy, have an advanced strategy there, rating, training tips. Yeah, that's it. Not many pages on it, but it is cool. I would have loved this. I also picked up The Land of the Dead 4K. So I actually have this on Blu-ray. I popped it in real quick, and it actually looks like a big improvement over the Blu-ray. So I'm happy to at least have that, because I usually don't double dip. Like a lot of times if I have a Blu-ray, I won't upgrade unless it's like something that's like a significant improvement. But I think this was like $10. So I figured for $10 I'll upgrade to the 4K, and hopefully it's better. And I did pop it in, and it looks really good. It looks like a marked improvement over the Blu-ray. So for $10, like, I'm fine with that. Like I mentioned, they had VHS tapes. A lot of my collection is actually from Tom's. There's another place down in Jopa, Maryland called Video Village. They're amazing if you're in that area, if you're ever like around there. I used to go down there for work a lot. Actually, I used to go to Pennsylvania, but it's right on the border. And a lot of my tapes came from there. They have just tapes and tapes and tapes. But anyway, they have tapes at Tom's, and so I picked up the Devonsville Terror. This is the Anchor Bay release of Devonsville Terror. It's not a great movie. It's fine. I like it. It's got Donald Pleasance in it for about 5 minutes. I think he just like sits at a desk the whole time, but it's cool. The reason I kind of picked it up was because it was like $5 or something, and I have Zombie, Flesh Eaters, and I have Evil Dead 2 already, so I figured I'd add to my collection of the Anchor Bay VHS tapes. And they also had these while I was there. They had like a whole bin full of these things. I guess it was like some homemade art somebody did. And that is like these little key tray things. You can like throw knickknacks or keys or whatever you want in there. They're made out of vinyl records. I have no idea who this band is, what this record is. I just thought it was the coolest looking one, so I picked it up. But if anybody knows what or who this is, I'd love to know, because obviously it's not going to play like this, so I'll never find out. But I thought these were pretty cool, so I picked one up. And then one of the stars of the show is, like I said too, they have like a bunch of random stuff too, and they had 2 versions of this, and that is the clapper.
Clap things on. Clap things on. Clap on your TV without getting up. Clap on, clap on. Thanks. The Smart Clapper.
So I thought this was so cool just to see one in the box. You know, if you ever came over to our apartment, like we have just random stuff, like kitsch kind of stuff, like throughout the place. I love like decorating with those things. It kind of gives, I feel it gives a personality to the place. So I'm probably going to put this up somewhere just kind of on display. I just thought that was so cool to see the clapper. They also had the 90s version, which the box wasn't as cool, but I remember those commercials more clearly. It's in here in its original plastic. And then the last thing I picked up, this was like the find for me. I was down in California a couple years ago, and I went to In-N-Out for the first time, and I didn't know that they sold shirts. And until I got home, and I was like, man, I wish I had picked up a shirt, because there's none near me. So when I was there, I found a brand new In-N-Out Burger t-shirt in my size. Check that out. In-N-Out. I had to pick this up, man. This is so cool. I was like, I can't believe they have one just randomly here, and it's in my size. I don't think this has ever been worn. I can still see the crease lines in it. So yeah, I had to pick up the In-N-Out Burger shirt. I love In-N-Out, man. Although their fries kind of suck, to be honest. Let's be real. So that's it, guys. That's all I picked up. I usually don't like to do haul videos, but I thought something like this was kind of a little bit different. If you have a place like this, definitely go seek it out. Or if you don't know, go look and go hunt. Up near me, we have tons of antique malls and stuff like that. But this place is something a little bit more special. A lot of these places are mom and pop run. This place certainly is. I might have failed to mention the owner, Tom, repairs vintage electronics, like VHS players and laser discs and TV, all that kind of stuff. He's really one of the very few people that are keeping this kind of thing alive. And I think it's really important that you go out and support, these places and these people, because, everyone wants to support physical media, and that's great and everything else. But there's also places like this that they need the support as well, and I'm not saying don't buy your things on Amazon and all that. I'm just saying go out sometimes and look for these places, because they are out there, and I think it's really important that they stay around for as long as possible. Enough of my soapbox. Go check out some places near you and see if you can find something like this. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you next time.
A massive thank you to my Patreon supporters. If you would like to support this channel, you can find those links in the description. Bye bye.